Entara Tazda, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kyle Aris, and today I'm going to bring you a bit of a fun game. A bit of a kind of contrast to what we saw from Hasu Obs. Hasu Obs? Mao's Hasu. They're both the same person. Yeah, so what we're going to be looking at here is a 4v4 game played between some of my friends in the Bronze League of 4v4. Myself, Jimote, One Old Fogey, and Dobster against Matador, Razian, Naudren, and Zatch. So this is going to be a bit of just more of a fun game than anything else. I really don't take team games that seriously, as much as I probably should do. I'll take them more seriously than I ever do. But in this game, it's just going to be pretty much just messing around. I'm going to do a little bit of interesting things, and my friends in turn may go for something interesting as well. These guys, I'm not sure if they're a team specifically, but they didn't they do well, yeah. So, yeah, fantastic. So we do have me bringing out this probe here, going to be throwing down that gateway. Let's go over to Jim's cam, also throwing down that gateway. Another gateway going down for Dobster, and a gateway going down for Fogey. So similar builds at this point in time, but I'm pretty sure I'm a little bit ahead because these guys are a little bit slower than me. Haha! Now they're going to kill me for saying that because they're all real life friends. We do have Matador here, not doing too much. Going to be throwing down a dual racks with 0 gas, so either going to be looking for a fast expand or going to be putting on some pressure. It's always very good to note that from some kind of Terran, unless of course they're baddies and they're just doing anything for the hell of it. That's the really annoying thing about being like playing lower level players. Like if you scout them and you scout something that they're doing and you're thinking, oh, this Terran's got no gas, he's got 2 barracks, he must be going for some kind of all-in play, or he must be also, I mean, not all-in play, he must be going for some early aggression, or he must be looking to early expand. Oh, there goes the gas finally. But you know, sometimes when you play these people, it really doesn't go to plan, and you end up seeing things that are a bit strange. So Dobster here at this point, forgetting to put down his cybernetics core for a while, now puts it down, whilst we all have our cybernetics cores on the way. This is going to be really easy to cast. I can just go over to everybody's cameras and be like, gateway, 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 gateway. We have zealots coming out for all of us right now, whilst our opponents are just kind of going for. We do see some roach warren going down, almost down now for Nadran. Dual gas going into factory for Razian. So going to be going for some kind of mech play from Razian there. Matador going for a second gas and just stockpiling some minerals. That's the best way to play this game. Stockpiling minerals. This SCV almost getting picked off by my zealot there, running that out of the base, and going to be coming back anytime soon. And what are we going to do? What am I going to do? I can't even remember what I did. Throwing down a robotics facility, that's right. Throwing down a robotics facility in order to get out some fast colossi. Really, really, really fast colossi. Because I thought, I know the plan for this game. We shall go mass colossi. No, maybe me. I can't remember what my friends did. Not specifically anyway, so we shall see what happens. A few roaches coming out for Naudren, and Jim at this point. Oh, that's me actually doing a little bit of scouting, seeing what's going on around the map, and getting a little bit of lag there. I'm not sure why. I know what's going on. I have fixed the problem. Not that you ever noticed anything, apart from me saying I have fixed the problem. So, we have more gateways at this point down, and Jim is just finished his warp gate research. I have almost finished my warp gate research, but I saved a bit of my chrono boost for other things, and I have a few zealots, but nothing too major. Jim now grabbing quite a few units. I'm going to be trying to do a bit of a 4-gate push on someone. Fogey's warp gates are almost researched, as are Dobster's, and I now am producing a warp prism in order to have some little hijinks going on. Well, it's not really hijinks, but you'll soon see. And Jim throwing down this pylon because he forgot there was a main up this ledge. Good job, Jim. Yeah. Nice. So, he's going to be doing that whilst moving up with these forces in just a moment. Dobster's just getting a few more gateways as well as a robo facility, and Fogey at this point is getting his robo facility as well. I've already thrown down my robotics bay, just kind of hoping that nobody attacks me in the next 5 minutes, because I have 3 zealots. And going to be using this warp prism to drop a probe off on this island and try and take this base over here. Jim, on the other hand, has other ideas, fancy ideas of trying to attack bases when his pylon's going to get attacked from above. So he's trying to warp a few new units in just before that finishes and fails and dies and Marines kill. We're going to be trying to move up here, but there is a Thor in the way, so that's going to be a real pain in the ass. I'm now researching my thermal lances. We have siege tanks upgrades on the way for Matador. Lots of roaches coming in here. Going to be getting a few pot shots off on those roaches, chasing them away, maybe almost killing that zealot. And 2 force fields going down on this ramp, which is slightly odd considering that they weren't even trying to get down that ramp. So not too much of a problem though. Robotics Bay on the way for old Fogey now, and we have a Raven as well coming out for the Green Terran. As well as siege tank technology and stim on the way for Razian as well. So this Thor's going to be able to fend this off no problem because Thors are amazingly stupidly strong with their... Oh no, it's going to die. Oi, Thor dies. And throwing down some interesting shields there, but these tanks are going to siege up. Really need to focus down these tanks before they actually get in any kind of good damage off. Fogey would have been better to actually focus those as opposed to just kind of go on the infantry units. Jim now moving back in order to be able to try and fend this off, but it looks like they are reinforcing with a little bit, but these Marines are going to be able to clean this up because Marines are the most overpowered unit in the game. And this pylon in a nice position here could have warped up onto the high ground, but I'm not so sure that did that much at all. And one of Fogey going to be sending in a few more units, as well as Jim's a few more stalkers. I am grabbing this base on this island and just going to pump out as many colossi as possible. My thermal lances has completed, so I have 6 zealots and a colossus. Yeah! Awesome armies. And Jim at this point is just sticking with this 4-gate, although I imagine he's going to be transitioning into something else soon. One old Fogey throwing down this expansion. The Zerg has had this expansion for quite a while now, and is transferring drones to it. There are a few roaches here getting caught off guard by these units, and Jim is going to try and pressure this expansion. And all these drones did look like they wanted to come out to fight there, but it looks like they're going to be fended off. This siege tank really needs to siege up, and is doing so, but Jim has wisely moved slightly more towards that, but I would like to see those stalkers try and focus down that siege tank, and indeed they are, but more siege tanks on the way, going to be sieging up, and Jim really needs to move back at this point. Point defense drone, really nice use of point defense drone there actually at that point, and this Thor's going to come in and be clean up duty for the day. So now I'm just ferrying things back and forth with this warp prism whilst all this is going on. Yeah, chilled. Pretty chilled. I don't care. I wonder how many kills I've got. Does it even say anything? Units lost. I've lost 1 unit. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty chilled. Pretty chilled. Throwing down another robotics bay and getting a load more colossi and getting some pylons as well, for loading up some probes into this warp prism in order to transfer them over here in order to get that saturated a little bit quicker. Fogey's main natural even has begun saturation underway, and Jim is going to be grabbing that expansion as well. Dobster does have that expansion, and what's he been doing whilst we've all been looking at that? He is getting a few more colossi, and he has some colossi there. 1 colossus. And I'm just continuing to produce mass colossus in order to be able to try and fend this off. They are getting a few infestors, so I'd be quite curious to see whether they're getting neural parasite in order to know there's not doesn't have neural parasite on the way just yet, so that'd be quite interesting. But he does have burrow on the way as well. There's a lot of more roaches. Green currently going for another raven, in fact, and we do have yellow going for Matador. Even is going for an armory. So interesting choices here by all these players, and orange currently just sticking with his Thor build and just expanding to this area here, whilst yellow has already expanded to his natural as well. So my natural's just pretty happy, pretty happy, and my main is being slowly flooded with colossi. Got a few more coming out, running slightly high in the money. Gonna probably get myself Psylocked there if I'm not too careful, throwing down a few more pylons. And that shall be fine, indeed. And whilst nothing's happening, I should probably take this opportunity to point out the fact that I do have my own channel on StarCraft 2 EU servers called Kylaris, and if you want to join that, you should do. We had 1 or 2 fan games this morning, one of which I shall probably cast tomorrow because it was weird. And I'm now being dropped in my island base, and that's not very nice, and I've told them that's not very nice. Very verbally. There's no need for that kind of appalling BM. Total lack of total lack of disrespect, total lack of respect from Rezian. But Rezian is going to get cornered by these Colossi. If he's not too careful. He is dropping on here, probably kill quite a few probes, but these Colossi will deal the damage, picking up quite a few more of those units as well, and in fact one of the Thors, so he's going to be able to retreat pretty easily. But at this point, no, I have no more expansion. I should expand, but instead I probably start producing 2 more Colossi, because Colossi are super cool. I do have about... How many Colossi do I have? I have 8 Colossi on the field right now, and they just got scanned, which is not very cool. So at this point I'm telling all my friends to come along with me. We do have a few more Colossi here, and even more Colossi with the one old fogey, and I'm telling them all to come with me so we can have a Colossi fest of absolute death. And I'm assuming that they must have got some anti-air at this point. We do have a lot of tanks and medivacs out here, and we do have no anti-air. There are a few Vikings on the way, but for now these Colossi are going to have free reign of everything that they actually want to do. This warp prism getting stupid because I'm rubbish, and these Colossi are going to be moving around here trying to take out as much of this as possible. Going to get a few pot shots off on this mineral line, whilst my reinforcing buddies do come along with all their Colossi. And this production tab is bloody huge and getting in the way. But as you can see, all these Colossi getting in on the action. One going down. Terrible micro by me. But killing a lot of these units, trying to get all these siege tanks up on the high ground. And at this point, I'm imagining the opponents are a bit pissed off, because pardon my French, because that's a lot of Colossi, let's be fair. Especially 15 minutes into the game, I suppose. We do have a big engagement going on up here. We really need to bring the Colossi in order to aid this. A lot of these zealots are coming around here. I'm surprised neither of us has charge at this point, but there you go, that's that. And all these Colossi now going zap zap zap. A lot of infested Terrans being thrown down, but it's not much of a difference when it comes to dealing with about 10 billion Colossi. And I'm BMing even more. Yeah, BM. Yeah, Bronze League. Yeah. Why do I'm going to go on the record now and say I absolutely categorically hate team games, although Resin does take it in a bit of fun, so that's good. Because you get cheesed by like 3 people who do a 6 pull, and then what can you do? Like nothing. At least in a 1v1 setting, you can just do something against that. But we're doing a lot of damage to this base right here, but whilst that's going on, there's a big force going down to my base, going to be taking it out with a lot of tanks and a lot of marines. So this is very scary, especially since 8 or 7 sieged tanks are going to do a ton of damage. So I'm just trying to get a few pot shots off on these tanks before my Colossi do end up taking too much damage. Whilst that's going on though, still a lot of war going on up here. Stalkers getting in on the action, and these Colossi here trying to kill as much as possible. They did have a few Vikings actually shooting down on us at that point, but we did take them out quickly. And Dobster's expansion does look like it's going to go down from a lot of aggression from green. Using these ravens as spotters, and did take out my gateway and my cybernetics core. So if I wish to actually make more things, I'm going to be in a bit of a bad spot. I really need to grab myself an extra expansion somewhere, because right now I have no more income other than these few mineral patches, and now these marines have taken out their expansion, and we're retreating ever so slightly with these units, although I do still have a lot of Colossi still up here, so I'm going to be taking quite a few shots at this base. Although that being said, all these Colossi here are going to end up dying to these Vikings, so it's good to see that they are transitioning to the Vikings. Jim now upgrading +2 ground weapons, and also stealing my natural because he's an arsehole, and I really should go probably back over to this island in order to be able to figure out what's going on over there. Maybe I could have been super ballsy and taken this island up here, because that would have been fantastic. But Matador's base is going down slowly. These Colossi would have no hope in hell of outrunning these Vikings, so I've just left them in to take out as much as absolutely possible. At this point, Rezian is trying to relocate his base, taking the gold, and Fogey has taken this gold here. Neither of these golds has been taken as of yet, but maybe they'll be taken later on. But a big engagement kind of going on down here, and it was pretty one-sided, to be perfectly honest with you. They are trying to reinforce with a lot of units here, but I'm going to chase them off with 5 Colossi. And a lot more Colossi just walking around on the field right now. Colossi are pretty cool, aren't they? Yeah, pretty cool. So, just going to be taking a few pot shots at those. Was hoping to get a few marine kills, but sadly not. These Vikings are running around, running amok, and I really need to get some kind of stalker support in order to save these Colossi, because otherwise they're just going to die instantly. I am now running back, realizing that these Vikings are here, and these stalkers are going to be able to help me from one all fogey. So, armor level 2 on the way for Jim, as well as Blink, and Fogey is just now trying to saturate this gold base. Rezian is just trying to saturate his gold base as well, and it seems like Matador is building another command center in Green's base, so interesting choice there. Oh, but Zatch actually taking that island base as well, and at the same time Fogey is going to be doing some harassment over here with these Colossi, and I'm going to be moving up as well since we do have this Stalker support, but that is a huge army there that we really need to take care of. We need these units in place in order to fight them off. A lot of Stalkers coming in from Jim here. We're going to need to probably do some blink action onto these siege tanks in order to be able to take them out as quickly as possible. PDD is going down, absorbing a lot of the Stalker damage, and but these Colossi are certainly ripping through a lot of the units of the Terran and the Zerg. All those Marines have just evaporated under a sheer sandstorm of laser-filled barrage-ness. But now, Marauders, as is per usual, come in and clear that up pretty easily, because they're Marauders, and they're super awesome. Vikings now coming in on this flank and taking them out as well. We do see a Spire going down for Neudrun, as well as missile attacks level 2 going down. That command center for Matador is almost finished. I expect he'll be flying that off to the island anytime soon, and my last Colossi finally does fall, and at this point I don't really have much, so I'm just kind of producing Colossi as much as possible. I probably should have expanded. I know I probably should have expanded, and I was gonna go expand up here at this point, and then I realized that friggin' Jimote was going to steal that one as well. So I thought that this one was a tad risky considering how close it actually is to Green. So I thought, nah, bollocks to it, and sent them up here thinking, because we actually hadn't scouted that this was here, so I was going to try and put a Nexus here, but apparently it's already gone. So first come, first serve, I suppose. We do have more Colossi coming out for me. Yay, Colossi. And Dobster's now starting to produce a few Void Rays. He does have this expansion still up and running, overly saturated. It wouldn't be too bad to get him an expansion as well. But at this point, I really need an expansion, and Jim's being really greedy. And look at all this chrono boost that Jim hasn't spent because he's a bloody idiot. Look at all that. Look at mine. Yeah, Jim? Yeah, you seeing that? Yeah? He's probably never going to watch this, but you seen that, Jim? You seen that? Although I don't even have one Nexus. So, it's a bit easier to keep hold of. Weapons level 3 now going down for Jimote, and I'm getting a phone call from my girlfriend, and she's going to kill me for not answering, so that's going to be more entertaining. Vikings now just littering the paths for Matador, and he has taken that island, so it looks like, what are we actually doing now? There's not much going on. These Stalkers are moving up the map, and a big ball of Colossi plus Stalkers here for Fogey, as he does have that gold base up and running, and he has tons of minerals that he probably could have given me but didn't because he's useless, and I'm just marching around with my lone Colossi 5 ball here right now, and it seems like that's all that's going to be going on for this. Rezian now expanding back to his main and going to be throwing down a few factories in this area here, and there's not much actually going on. Everyone seems pretty much mined out. These guys aren't mining at all. What on earth is going on? And Notch, it seems like the only one that's actually producing anything from their team. This ball of death is going to come in here soon. What is going on? This is so slow. We did just take that expansion out there, and we're going to be coming up here, a couple of Corruptors, and taking those out. I'm speeding this up because if I don't answer the phone, I'm going to die, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to absolutely die. So let's get this done. Go. All these things are going. Blink. Matador's left the game. Oh, Green coming in. Oh, lots of goals. Oh my god, look at all this. Oh, what on earth? What on earth? How did we accumulate so much? Wow. So, yeah, that's probably going to be the end of the game, guys, ladies and gents. So, thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this slightly entertaining. It was a bit stupid, I'm really sorry, but I just felt like casting it because of all the Colossi and all the zappy things. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, and if you like what you see, that's great. Thanks very much, and I will see you guys next time.